It's your boy DJ Heck One, and to my right.
Yo, what up? What up? It's your boy Lewis. How y'all doing, baby?
To my front.
Yo, it's your girl Baby Death. What's good?
Yo.
What's good with y'all, man? Y'all already know, man, this podcast ain't gonna be all that happiness. You know what I'm saying? But we dedicating this podcast to, you already know. I know y'all been hearing about it.
Yeah, so what's been going on lately, and it became this big thing, was Tyre John. I think it's Tyre Jones? I'm sorry. I couldn't get the name. Nichols. Tyre Nichols. I'm so sorry. So many people going on right now. Tyre Nichols, on January 7th, he was pulled over for a traffic stop violation. I'm guessing he was, reckless driving, supposedly, by these group of cops who were, they called the Scorpion Unit.
Scorpion Unit, I think.
It completely went ballistic after that.
Yeah, it's like a gang.
I guess it's like a gang for cops. I'm guessing. I don't know. It's very actually traumatizing. But supposedly he was driving reckless or whatever. And let me tell you, so from the moment they stopped his car, it just went haywire from there. This poor boy, 29 years old, so young, was beaten to his death by police officers.
Yeah.
Right.
The people that's supposed to serve.
I think it was like 5 of them.
The people that's supposed to serve and protect. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like 5 of them. And the unit was called Scorpion. It was like an actual unit.
They were
actual
gang. They were actual gang.
But it's not gonna say gang on paperwork.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
of course not. But
obviously
when you
they
hear
were
the way
all.
they were sounding.
Yeah.
And the way they looked and the way they did everything and went about stuff, that wasn't regular.
Yeah.
That wasn't okay.
I can't fucking stand it.
You think it's something racial?
I'm done.
You think it's something racial?
This got nothing to do with race.
Absolutely
This
not.
what it has to do with. What it has to do with. Period. It has to do with, police.
Mm-hmm.
Police race. Pretty much, they're brotherhood. They feel like they can do what they want to do, and it's getting ridiculous.
No, it's true. They use
It's
their
getting ridiculous.
power of being above the law or something. That's what they feel like they are, that they can sit here and do whatever they want and
They definitely have
hurt so
advantages.
many people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Every time some stupid shit happens like this, I'm gonna expose you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna expose you.
I know when we first seen it, well, like when we watched the video,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing not the only thing, but like the main thing that really had me baffled was like, how do you have a body cam on and know that this is happening and then try to hide it?
It doesn't make sense.
You know?
It doesn't make sense.
It definitely looks super intentional. Yeah. It looked like he was like, if you can see the video clearly, one of the guys that were cops, he had walked away.
Yeah.
Trying to catch a breather in the video, but really it's because, all the other cops were doing what they were doing to the guy. So
Yeah.
I definitely agree with David. David said it's arrogant police license to kill you. Pretty much, they get their license, they get to be a cop and everything, and what are they doing?
specific cops like that
they're
do
making
that.
the job look
Yeah.
bad, and there's not all cops do this. Like, they're not above the law, Harold. They really aren't above the law, technically.
Two cops?
Yeah, they're not above the law.
Well,
Harold acts-
they fucking think they are.
They think, that's what I'm saying. They
And-
act like they're above the law to the point that they feel like it's okay to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's okay to sit here and beat on people till death.
Yeah.
This kid literally.
I don't know why, but I feel like it was something personal. I'm not gonna lie to you. It just looked way too personal for them just to
Right?
pull over a random person.
Yeah, I don't know.
He ends up running away. He ended up chasing this guy down.
Yeah.
Like you guys, they wanted something, not you guys, but out of all those cars, they wanted something out of that guy. I don't know what it was.
You asked me, I'm gonna tell you what I feel. I feel as though they were probably doing an initiation. Cause they're a gang, right? We're gonna find the first one and we're gonna see what time it is. That's what they were doing.
I just don't think it's so not low key either. Like even if it was a top like that, even if that was the case.
Yeah.
Why do it when y'all all in like uniform at that point in time, at that certain time?
It's how they did it. It's
Yeah.
yo, like,
It was brutal, man.
It
They
was
beat
to
the
the
life out
point
of that
that
guy.
even after they had the handcuffs on him, even
Yeah.
after he was restrained and detained,
Yeah.
they were beating on him. It had to have been personal. They
Yeah,
had to,
he definitely was in fear for his life
like,
too.
there was
when he
no
running away.
reason for that to go that extent.
Not at all.
He ran because he feared. He feared. Yes,
Yeah,
David.
that was definitely fear.
It felt personal.
It definitely.
It felt like a personal attack.
That's why when I was watching the video, I'm like, it still had me thinking. Even the next day, I'm like, I don't understand like what this dude had anything to do with anything. But if he was like doing some traffic violations, because I think that's why they put him over, right?
Yeah, they
Or-
supposedly
or some
he was
traffic
driving
violations?
recklessly. Well, I tell you what we're gonna start doing. Y'all see the number right up top. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let's get some phone calls in there. It's special feelings. It's no more texting. Let's get it in. Let's let these people know how we feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So while we doing this podcast, y'all more welcome to call. Y'all already see the number 786-849-0477. And the special feelings. What you think about this? Because I don't think it's right.
Nah.
It's never right. And whoever
not.
does think this is right is pure evil.
Nah, yeah.
It's
They,
This
ridiculous.
is pure
It's
evil.
ridiculous.
Who would do such a thing and think it's
they definitely,
okay?
yeah, they definitely don't got the
They're
head.
probably gonna get and money is not a situation, bro. But money right now, they better sue. They better get every last little penny that they can because of this shit.
Who? You some of the guy's family?
Parents
No,
and everything.
the family, his family, yeah.
So your
Family,
family
they
could
could
sue?
Yeah, they
Oh,
can
because
sue.
that's-
Yeah, of course they can sue.
Because that's their loved one, right?
Hell yeah.
Right now, the police department has shut down the whole Scorpion unit. Like they shut it
Yeah,
down,
yeah, yeah.
as they should though, because
Yeah.
that is not
Discontinued.
okay.
It's
I don't
not.
know.
That
Right.
is that's putting a bad face to the police department itself as well.
And
Not
then-
just that unit, but the whole department.
Yeah, man.
It's
And
ridiculous.
they have a couple other people, not just from that unit, that had
The medics, I
Lost their
believe,
jobs.
paramedics.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
they
if you
definitely
see
lost
in
their
the
jobs.
video that was also posted on CNN and that we also have, y'all go check out the recent video. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But pretty much in the video that you see two paramedics, while Tyreek couldn't even keep his own body weight up on the floor, he couldn't even keep his body. They're just
Yeah,
looking
well,
at him.
I think they got fired.
They did get fired because they were just looking. They weren't doing their job.
They got
weren't
fired.
trying to help him.
They got fired. I think they looking at charges too. They were just talking about that. And yeah, it's a civil lawsuit.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's
Yeah.
a civil case. Yeah, it's a civil lawsuit. You're right. You're right.
and people started like, obviously when something like this happens, you already know. You got certain people in certain states and
It's crazy.
places that,
Protesting.
yeah, they're obviously going to protest.
Let's
You know,
make
hopefully-
it a peaceful protest though.
Hopefully they make it a peaceful protest, but when it comes to like killing,
Of course, we know.
it's not really peaceful.
I don't encourage violence, man, but
Yeah.
I can understand how they feeling, bro. I
Of
mean,
course.
and this ain't even a racial thing. It's
No,
not a
it's
racial
not.
thing. It's,
You could.
it's definitely
Black police,
it's what the
black
cops.
guy.
The thing is that it's
It's
very,
definitely what the cops feel. They feel as though they got more
It's very-
authority than
yeah.
anybody,
yeah.
and that's how it rolls. That's how it goes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And the part that also like has me super like what is the fact that it's so common. It's been so common now.
To the
Yeah.
point they
Ever
made a
since
show about it.
ever since the Trayvon Martin thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like we've
Yeah.
been getting these things back to back. It's the same thing with these mass shootings in school or just in general.
Yeah.
You have one that starts. It's a super tragic one, and it shifts the whole environment. It changes the whole way that a lot of people take in things now. You feel me? Like right now, like obviously the public is super sensitive to anything and everything. Everything is on.
Yep.
Is being recorded at all times. These cops obviously didn't realize that there was a camera on the pole. Thank God, and it was
Yeah.
pointing exactly at the right angle. So
Yeah, they try to hide. I know.
thankfully, no, of course, but I
think,
think
I
I
think
think
y'all
adrenaline was
Yeah, I-
running so high that they weren't able to focus on everything before that. So you could tell that was it didn't look planned.
Yeah.
You feel me? But it looked like they knew who they were looking for. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the guy, if you look, he didn't have no history. He didn't have no background. He didn't have no.
That's why
He didn't have nothing.
it had me
Nothing
baffled when
wrong.
I'm like, this guy seemed like he was hand selected, but at the same time, because he has no history or any of that, it don't seem like I think they just I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what started it, what caused them to do that,
Yeah.
what gave them like an idea or thought that was a good idea, and the fact that they probably thought that there wasn't gonna be no like any consequences. You can hear them.
Well, you got a lot of
You
people.
can hear them
got a
inside
lot
the
of people-
video. Certain statements that they were making
Yeah,
during the
like
video.
towards the
You
end,
know.
like towards the end, like after doing all of that stuff, it just sounded like they were trying to make an excuse, trying to make it okay.
It's super
Saying
like
that,
readable.
he
Yeah.
reached for my gun.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Like if you see the video and you can hear it, you can like really pick out really like real easily. Like even a kindergarten could like see
You
that
could tell,
that's
like,
so
y'all just
obvious.
trying to make a defense for this because you know you done messed up.
You know you done messed up 90 algebra, like all your buddies.
Well, check it
all
out.
together.
We got
and make
that
sure you
number
guys have
right
the same
there.
story.
Give us a call. We live right now. Special feelings. There ain't nothing wrong with expressing your feelings. It's not against the law to express your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So let me know how y'all feel, man. You know,
Yeah.
we do this for everybody to hear what's going down.
Yeah, David. Yeah, so David said that one of the cops said that he was on something. I feel like that was honestly just an excuse.
Yeah, he wasn't on
He
nothing.
wasn't on nothing. That man, that poor boy there was so in fear for his life the moment they pulled him out his car. The moment they got to his car, they had their guns drawn, they had their tasers, and they yanked him out his car. That they didn't give that boy a chance to even know what was going on.
Yeah, but
now,
the,
one of
the thing is, if he was on something, they would have made that a big issue. They would have been like, this is
Definitely.
why the cops did what they did. Trust me, he wasn't on nothing. The autopsy, they're part of
Those
it.
cops were hoping that he was on
The
something.
autopsy
Yeah.
did come out. He died because of the injuries that
Yeah.
the cops gave him. He
Yeah, they
wasn't
would've
Because of
found-
bodily injury.
They
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
found something. They definitely
No.
would have found something.
Now, one of the things I had noticed while I was watching the video is that when they had him on the floor and he was pinned down, he was obviously screaming "mom." So I'm over here thinking, right, someone who's super like in fear for their life. Yeah, it's super common for them, for someone to call out to their mom or dad. But what made me think it was like, man, maybe he ended up running towards his house. Maybe he was already close to his house.
Supposedly,
Where they made that traffic stop at?
I think he was close to it.
Yeah,
to his
supposedly
home.
said
I don't
he
He
know
was
how far
running. He
was, but I
knew
know
what
he was-
direction. Like, it seemed like he
Yeah.
knew what direction he wanted to go in, and once they caught up to him,
yeah.
I think his house was a little bit like
It had
around
to
the
have
way.
been close by
It was
because
on the radius. Yeah.
I think he said it while he was getting brutally beat. He said, "I just want to go home. I'm just trying to go home.
I'm just trying to go home. Yeah, yeah. So
Like-
so it seemed like he didn't even care about the. Well, I mean, he couldn't care about the car because he dragged him out of it. But
Yeah.
I think if he had an option, he probably would have drove home if they didn't get him out
That's
the car.
where he was headed to anyways, driving home before they just pulled him over and completely started beating on him.
Yeah,
Started
and then
beating
if
him.
you hear the way that these cops talk inside the thing, I don't know if that's like a Memphis act, like if that's like a certain accent that they have, that's the way they talk over there. But they sounded super,
Young, like young.
super street like. They
Yeah.
sound they have like this lingo that not you don't really hear cops sound like. At least I mean I'm not a cop, so I don't really know what a cop would
The way
sound
they
like.
were
but-
talking is like we in the streets and
Well, it sounded like it was homeboys together. That's what I'm saying. Like at first, I'm gonna be honest. When I heard it, I didn't even believe that they were like real cops. I thought that they was like cops in like
Dressed
costumes
up
or
in
just
costumes, yeah.
just dressed up just to have the whole police department in trouble. Probably maybe it's like a comeback. It's so many like probably stories that they probably try to like write up already. Oh, sorry about that. But honestly, yeah, it's a real sad situation. Because like I said, it's super common, it's either like a racial thing or it's, and the reason why most people saying it's not a racial thing, which I don't think it is either, is because the cops that were inside that whole incident, they were all dark skinned as well.
Yeah. All right. It wasn't a racial thing. What it is
Yeah.
is a racial. It's a cop thing. All right. It's a cop thing. That's also a race. Right?
And you're saying that
Like,
because
it's also
it
a
seems
race.
that darker people are a lot more.
If you hear the way they were talking like on some violent shit. They were like, yo, I stomped his ass. The other one said, yo, I hit him with all I had. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All
Like,
the blows, yeah.
all the blows. Like, it was getting ridiculous, man.
Yeah, David
They
Ford-
sound like a gang.
David pointed out that one of the
They sound
cops.
really comfortable with each other, yeah.
He pointed out that one of the cops, before catching up to Tyre, one of the cops said, "I hope they stump him," which is
Wow.
true. One of the cops did say that.
I don't understand where any of this
Where their
anger,
mindset
where your
comes from.
mindset is at. You gotta understand, like when you're protecting the streets, you're protecting the streets. You have you have a gun on you. You
I
have a
think-
weapon
I
on
think
you.
it
You
was
have
gang.
mace,
think
and
it
also
was
in the
gang.
video they were abusing that. Yeah, I mean they were doing everything wrong.
They were gang.
You're macing him, then you're tasing him,
They're
then you're
macing
beating him with a
themselves, too.
baton. It doesn't take 4 to 5 cops to take down one man.
It
That's
really
right.
does.
That's right. That's
You get
right.
what I'm saying? And obviously that man was running away. He didn't mean any harm.
He
He
just
didn't
wanted
even
to go
cause
home.
any harm. He wasn't trying. He was just trying to
Yeah.
go home. He was calling out for his mom.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm really sorry to hear about this guy. Definitely rest in peace. I hope he's in a better place. And definitely, my prayers go out to his family. I hope. I know it's gonna be a long time until they heal the situation, but
I don't think they're above the law, bro. I'm sorry. They ain't above. There's nobody above the law. I'm gonna keep that 100. And yo,
you got people above the law.
hey, give us a call.
They're
Hey,
just not. They're super
hey,
secret.
David, give me your opinion, man. Give us a call. This is live right now. That's the phone number. Hey, don't feel shame, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel shame.
I don't think this particular part. I don't think this particular group, this unit is above the law. But don't get it wrong, though.
Yeah.
You know, this world isn't fair either. This place isn't fair either. So I think, there definitely is connections inside the police department where, if you have enough evidence, let's say you are still a bad cop and you have enough evidence for the court to say, hey, look, yeah, that this guy was on something, even though it was bad. You feel me? I mean, it's kind of like the same incident with George Floyd. He was on something, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, cop still had his knee on his neck.
But
Everything's rules and regulations.
He
If you
wasn't
don't
even
have it to
saying
the
it,
T,
though.
then it's hard for somebody that you have a connection with to sit there and, try to defend you. I mean, obviously, they don't want you to be in jail or do any time because you're representing their department.
Correct.
You feel me? So you gotta, there's always connections somewhere. You just gotta learn how to use them. Now, I'm not saying that's just with bad cops. You got some good cops that just have good connections. God forbid anything happens, they try to scandal somebody. You feel me? You gotta watch out for all that stuff because this is all in the government. This is part of the government.
It is.
And the main thing that's been happening now is protesting, the whole police brutality thing, which really been out for a very, very long time.
Alright, give me 1 second. Thank you for calling podcast. You live.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on, man?
how's it going?
All right, man. State your opinion, man. State your opinion. You already know it. Apparently, you're looking at it live. And I'm willing to hear everybody's opinion. What you think about this whole situation?
Man, I think that the cops they have to learn how to de-escalate the situations rather than escalate the situations.
Right.
And I think that that's where they're getting it wrong.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, I don't know what there was to de-escalate in the first place when they came to this guy.
Yeah.
You
That is
feel me?
true.
It was a simple just traffic pull, for me. But they dragged the guy out, so it's not like the guy meant any harm in the first place. What was he really doing wrong? So it's even before trying to de-escalate the situation. It's like, does the situation need to be de-escalated in the first place? Yeah, it's like observe how the situation is gonna go before you feel like you need to try to do that, slow anything down. Because
What do you-
sometimes the cops
what do
tend
you
to
think about
escalate the
what-
situation instead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Louis.
Well, in the whole when they stopped the guy and the guy got out of the car
Right.
and they brought the guy down, they're still escalating like, oh, let's tase the guy, let's bring the guy.
Yeah.
They're bringing
Scaring
their
him.
whole voice. Exactly, they're bringing the whole voice up. So the guy's already fearing for his life. At that point where I'm scared for my life, I'm gonna start getting in fear of flight mode.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I'm gonna start getting defensive. I'm gonna fear for my life.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna cooperate anymore. I'm gonna get defensive.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
That definitely makes sense, man.
His reaction was exactly that.
He did
was
react,
fight or
man.
flight.
It was all fear,
That was
man.
his
And
reaction.
like I said, this police brutality thing is very common, so that's the first thing he probably thought. And he's a young black male. Like I said, that's the most targeted group. It's unfortunate, but if we're being realistic, they show the charts. They show the graph. And it's mostly young African American males that are getting targeted, even by their own kind. It's sad.
Right. That's right, man. So what you think? What do you think? What do you think should get better? What do you think should get better besides what do you think about this?
So I think one, training, because the thing is that we're getting to a point where we're also going into the defund the police, and it's getting into a dangerous point where if defund the police gets a bigger movement, it's only going to get worse.
Right.
Right.
Because we don't want to go that route,
Right.
and we don't want this to continue because it's also it's not really well it is racism because it's targeting the black race, but who's targeting the black race? Because it's also black cops.
Yep.
So it's white and black cops, but at the end of the day, it's the blue shirt. You know, it's the blue. Let's call it the blue gang.
Yeah. That's what makes the situation like a lot more bigger than race. Now it's literally separating, you know, the people versus, you know, you got the law. You got the people that's inside the uniform. Two different set of like groups of people.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people. You got a lot of people inside the force, and you got a lot of people that are just regular civilians. That's a big separation right there. And eventually it's gonna get to a point where it's literally just two sides. You know, it's like it's like a gang war just without it being actual gangs.
Agreed.
You know?
Yeah, man.
So
Well, man, thanks a lot for your opinion, man. We appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for showing love.
For sure. Thank you for the podcast, man.
No
Always
problem, man.
Looking forward to it.
absolutely.
We trying.
Thank you for having me.
For sure, man. We trying to make it happen for everybody, man. Trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
All right, for sure.
Have a nice day.
Hey,
Well, there you go.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy is that just recently, right after this situation, I don't know if it was just recently today or earlier on in the week, but they were arresting another black man.
Yeah.
They were arresting him,
Yep.
and luckily his friend or family was
Was
recording.
recording, yeah.
And they
Guy
had
had a
him
taser
already
out.
in handcuffs,
Yeah.
and they were about to tase him for
That's
no
right.
reason.
And you could clearly see the cop put the taser back and thought about
because they called them
the
out.
situation. But the thing is that if the guy wasn't recording, what would you have would have done?
Exactly.
Well, let's look at that video real quick.
It's all about the intent, you know?
Let's look at this video real quick. Right there, he let him know. See how he pulled out that taser?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he put it right back in too.
At this point, he's telling the cop, "Are you gonna do what you did in Tennessee?
That's
do
right.
what you did to me, to that boy in Tennessee." Pretty much, he's restrained, and the cop is over here trying to pull out his taser for what? He's restrained.
That's right. There's no way he could run. Look, they got two cops. They if you see, they got two cops right there.
Yeah. That cop felt stupid. In that moment, that cop felt stupid, and they can't do nothing. You can't take that person's phone away from them. You're caught. You're caught right on camera trying to be slick.
Yeah, man. That's because they forget. They forget people are looking.
Situational awareness.
They forget people are looking.
And
That was the video right there. They forget people are looking.
So here's the thing, right? This is where the clash comes in at.
Yeah.
You got two demographics.
Uh-huh.
All right, we have African Americans and we have cops. Right?
Yes, sir.
The amount of police brutality that's been going on now, it kind of evens out a little bit when it comes to the crimes that African Americans have been doing now too, right? You don't hear too much about Hispanic or Latinos, you know, when it comes to the crime rate. You don't hear about too much white people when it comes to the crime rate.
Right.
You mainly hear about black people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, and that's being super realistic. That's not even, that has nothing to do with racial. It has something to do racially, but it's not like I'm not saying like a racial. So I'm not saying all black people are like this. You feel me? It's just, once again, they showed the charts. This is all proven. This is all proven from the charts, you know? So that's where that class comes in at. You got the crime rate when it comes to this side, and then you got the police brutality, which is also crime when it comes to this side. And it all just collides together. So it's easy what certain men like that to do is they like to throw that in the police officer's face, because sometimes maybe the police officer, they could be new.
All right.
They could be, probably distressed at the job, you feel me?
But no matter how much you throw that in there, right?
Yeah.
Our brown people, which is including Latin people, by the way,
No.
you know what I'm saying? What happens? We always getting into some shit, right? No problem, I get it. But if you look at anybody that comes out of a car shooting at a police or even coming close to even whatever the case of hurting a police, they're all white.
Yeah, to be honest, they
No,
are.
not really.
A lot of them,
Really?
a lot of
What
them
are you
take
talking
advantage
about?
at the fact
You got that
they
wrong.
don't get.
I mean,
touched.
I don't get me wrong. You're not wrong. I've seen videos. I've seen footage of regular, just like a regular countryman has a
Alright.
regular truck.
Okay.
The guy comes out, cop pulls him over like a regular traffic stop because his tail light is probably broken, and he literally like kills the cop.
Right.
I've seen footage
How
like
about- how
that, but
about-
if we're talking about everyday situation, I'm talking about every day. Every day, not a white man doesn't shoot a cop.
All right. Now let
You
me,
get me?
let me,
So-
but let
They
me,
just
but let me
shoot
ask you
the
another
schools.
question. How many people, how many white men do you see, or white person
Excuse me.
that you sit there and see, right? Go up to a cop with a weapon, and they tell this man, put it down 1,010 times, but don't do anything.
That's
Let
happened
that
just
be an
recently, right?
Hispanic. Let that be an Hispanic, let that be a black person who would have been shot right there and then.
Yep.
Okay, with that situation with the man that got shot in front of the Publix, was he Hispanic, white, black guy?
It was a black, it was a black guy.
Hispanic.
No.
The
Hispanic
one
or
in
black?
front of the Publix?
The one in front of the Publix.
Oh no, he was a white guy.
He was a white guy.
It was a white cop that shot the white guy.
It was a white cop. No, I don't care about. I'm not talking about the cop. I'm talking about the guy that got
Yeah,
shot.
but he had a gun pointed at somebody in a car.
That's still stupid.
Right.
That's a crime. That's why he got shot.
Yeah.
Well, there was
Alright.
another
But
man.
that's not what I'm trying to say.
But-
What I'm trying to say, if you look at everything and you really come to the science, it's more white people killing cops or killing people than what the black people are doing, or our brown people as the Latins.
Nah, that's because, all right, that's a different. But you're doing that based off of a different crime.
No, what I'm trying to say is what the police are doing now. They're profiling. But they're profiling the wrong people.
You can't say that.
I could say that.
They're not profiling the wrong people.
Police.
What I'm trying to
the
say
men
is-
in blue are profiling the wrong people.
Okay. I don't agree. I think they profile the right people. I just think how they handle the situation, they end up escalating it, and they make the bad person look right. So the bad person, by default, is automatically right if the cop decides to like go a different route. But I don't think they're targeting the. I mean, I'm not. Once again, they might be targeting a lot of wrong people, like the guy that just died. His name was it was Miguel what?
I don't.
The one out by Publix?
No,
The
the
one
one we just watched.
Tyree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name. So sorry about that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
completely
please
missed
don't-
it.
Yeah, let's.
Tyree Nichols.
All right, so
But-
Tyre Nichols, right?
Yeah.
All right, so he was most likely he was getting profiled
He was getting profiled
by
Yeah.
his not his but
by,
like
by
by
men in blue.
by cops,
Right?
By cops.
By
He was
men in
getting- he was getting profiled by cops.
And just like Dave
The
said,
same thing with George Floyd. He was
Yeah.
getting profiled. The same
Alright.
thing with who? Trayvon
what
Martin.
I'm
Here's the
trying-
thing.
what
Out of all three of them, one was racially profiled. No, they were all racially profiled.
But what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to come at is how it's going on. All right, they beat this man to death, right?
Yeah.
The mass shooting, you're right about that, D.
Yeah.
The mass shootings is nothing but white people, right? I'm talking about the approach that police are doing.
How they're approaching situations, whether their person
That's
is
what we
white
need to change.
or black. Let's look at it this way: how they approach white people that go crazy, white people with weapons, with knives, with guns, and all that stuff. How they approach them,
Right.
They're more careful with the way they approach the white people than the way they approach the colored people by literally beating on them.
Correct.
They already take out their weapon, they start shooting at them, they start putting their taser, they start beating on them. But with the white people, they're like, sir, calm down. Sir, I'm going to pull out my gun. Sir, calm down. Sir, calm down. You're telling them to calm down like 10 times, but you haven't done nothing. You haven't drawn your taser, your weapon, nothing. You're being careful about it because you fear for your life from the white person, right? But from the people that are like this, how many people have gone through the same police brutality, and most of them didn't even have weapons on them?
White people own guns.
A lot of people.
Well, we all.
And I'm not saying black people don't own guns, but
every race
how
own
often do you
guns.
hear of a black guy having a rifle or an AR-15?
The people that
There's
have
different
their-
protocols you got to take for different types of people.
Right.
You're talking about
But
the people that
we
are
talk-
like doing mass shootings. As a cop, I would be scared too of that guy, even if especially if he's white and he knows how to. He has an AR-15, he has a rifle. Most like come on, let's be honest. Most white people, they either go to the range. That's what they do. They do that type of stuff.
All right, but you ain't getting the drift though. What I'm trying to say.
That they're okay. That cops approach white people differently than how they approach black people differently. But white people, they shoot at the cops, and black people, you saying don't.
No, but okay.
No. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And just like I'm gonna talk about my Hispanic people, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe I'm not understanding. So let's start over.
All right, the men in blue, because I'm not gonna say black, white. Cops, right?
Just cops, yeah.
Men in blue in general, right?
Yeah.
They approach people differently.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
What we've been having around now is you have a lot of cops they profile. For example, you got all these tattoos on you.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know shit about you.
Right.
But I guarantee you, if it was a cop that pulled you over and see what you look like, they're gonna profile you.
Yep.
And if you had a knife in your hand, you would be shot. But if it was a white guy that had a knife in his hand, they'd tell him 30, 40 times to drop that knife before they even would do or use deadly force.
That's what we're saying.
Same thing with a black person.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? Now, let's be honest. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. Huh?
Harold said there are only more and more of these similar cases coming out in the past few days. It almost seems like the guys in blue are retaliating now that it has come to light.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much. Like at this point, they don't care. Now that they know the truth of how, not the truth, but like how these cops start to act and how everything's starting to go,
right.
It's like they stop caring. So
I mean, if I'm being honest, like it's not fair on both sides. I think it's not fair for a regular cop to walk down the street, probably go to the donut shop, and somebody's recording them, harassing them.
Yeah, that's different.
Because of what other cops do.
Exactly.
And I also don't think it's fair, like vice versa. I don't think it's fair for a cop to profile somebody, just because they have their hoodie on, just because they're walking around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You get me?
That's
It is 50-50.
okay.
But what I was trying to say, out of the three people, right? If you want to, like, if we're talking about Trayvon Martin, and if we're talking about the Tyrese guy. Tyre guy, sorry. And the other guy was what? George Floyd?
Yeah.
Let's say those three main people. Trayvon Martin was racially profiled.
Yeah.
But he ended up being aggressive. He ended up, like, he was damn near about to kill the Mark Zimmerman guy. That's why Mark Zimmerman shot him. But he did racial profiling. Trayvon Martin still ended up being a really aggressive teenager, right? He was a teenager? Mm-hmm. George Floyd. He wasn't sober. He was probably a crazy, like, guy.
Yeah, but he didn't deserve to get. He didn't deserve to die. Don't give you the right to take somebody's life.
But I guarantee you, when they were, when the cops were involved, it's most likely for a reason. But they just end up escalating it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think he was racial profiled too. I don't know how that started out, but what I'm trying to say is all three people, they're all dark, right? They're all black, but not all three people are the same. But I do say there is a lot of racial profiling. I just think that they might be trying to stop or talk or try to handcuff the right people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just think, like I said, they do too much. They get too paranoid, or they end up shooting the guy because they think he has something on him. You feel me? Probably because he has a record. But certain people, no. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what's going to separate regular civilians and cops. Here's the thing: the civilians are going to use that excuse that cops, when it comes to the whole police thing, like when they're beating on people. So that's what the civilians are going to use. Every time the cop is around, especially if it's a black man, that's what they're going to do. You're seeing them doing it now.
Yeah.
And then the cops have already been doing the same thing when it comes to these people. The thing is that, I think they are targeting.
It just needs to change, period.
That's it.
What Harold said anywhere else in the world, the police force focuses on how to de-escalate every situation. It almost seems like our police force are experts in escalating every situation, especially when there is a black or Hispanic male involved.
Correct.
I wouldn't just specifically say male because they did shoot that girl that was racially profiled.
Yeah.
They did drag that old lady out of her car, literally dislocate her shoulders and elbows. they were women. But yes, that is true. You know, they seem to know how to escalate the situation more than they de-escalate. How they approach it is already off rip wrong. They
Right.
need to learn how to approach a situation.
Right.
The police, David said the police told George Zimmerman not to follow Trayvon Martin.
Absolutely.
They will handle it. Exactly.
Absolutely.
And he still took his initiative to go and follow that boy.
That's right. I think I would have whooped his ass too.
He felt scared.
If
of
he
the
would
boy.
have followed me, I would have whooped his ass too. Cause now I feel like, not only you racially profiling me, I feel like you're a kidnapper or a pervert.
He could have been he could have been a kidnapper. He could have been a pervert. That's how you react. That's another great case. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was, look, look. Guys, if y'all don't know, I am down with the NRA. I am. Physically, I am. Okay? I like the gun laws. But let me tell you, and I'm going to be honest about that shit. Zimmerman should have been in jail.
Who?
Zimmerman should have been in jail.
Zimmerman.
He should have been in jail. No questions about it. There's no ifs or buts. The only reason why he won that is because of the stand your ground law.
Yeah.
While this kid was beating him up for fear for his life, he was banging his head down on the concrete.
Yeah.
So that allows you to use deadly force.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why he won, because if he should never won that shit. And it's fucked up. That's a young kid, man.
Yeah.
That kid should never. Yo, he came back from the store for buying some Skittles. He was hollering at his girl, a friend that he had, on the phone, and he even told the girl.
Yeah.
So, and then the cops tell you not to follow him, and you still do what you had to.
He feared for his life.
He should have never won that
He
case.
feared for his life.
He should have never won
Yeah.
that case.
So
I don't get
Zimmerman
it.
was following him, and Trayvon started beating him, basically.
No, he got out the car. He got out and followed and started approaching.
He
the kid.
approached him.
Well, yeah. Like most likely he was trying to
So,
force. Like,
okay, let me
situation
explain to you where I'm
on
from.
Trayvon. Like,
I'm from the projects, heck.
yeah.
I was raised differently. If a guy gets out the car to approach me, all I think of is you approach me, especially in an aggressive way, you either want to grab me, fight me, or
Like
try to
kidnap
hurt me.
me or something like that. Yeah.
I'm
If
gonna
you get out the
fuck you
car
up.
and you're following me, is yeah, I would feel pretty uncomfortable too.
that's
I'm
just
not,
period.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's just period. So, and this ain't no race thing. This is a like when you fear for your life, or you fear you ready to run. That kid probably feared for his life, but he had no choice but to beat this motherfucker up. Because he didn't know what was going down.
People react differently from fear. You either run from it or you approach it and try to battle your fear.
Exactly. It doesn't.
And there's people that are different. Like, if I was in that situation as a young female, I would have ran because I would think I'm getting kidnapped. As males would probably react differently and get, like, you know, feel that they have to defend themselves.
Right.
It's a different approach to every
It's definitely
situation.
a different approach. What's up, Ed? Big shout out to my uncle up in the house. Hey, yo, we talking about the case, and we talking about the 29-year-old man.
Tyre
They got
Nichols.
they got beat up by the 5 police. If you got an opinion, hit us up on that number right there. Please let me know, because we here for you. We here for you. We here for the community. We here to, we ready to hear. We ready to hear what you feel.
How I see it
Absolutely.
is not all cops are bad cops. Not all blacks are criminals. Not all whites are mass shooters. Not all Hispanics
Correct.
are criminals.
Correct.
You know, everyone is different, but how things have been going makes everyone look bad. How much crime rate goes with the black people makes
That's
them
what
look
I'm
bad.
trying to say.
I
Look,
understand that part. It makes you look bad as a whole.
I want to say it's the media's fault,
Yeah, case by
is.
case. Yeah.
and
It is.
yeah, maybe certain videos, maybe certain footages of certain people doing, or like a certain group doing something, like it's just like everything's hand selected. If they choose what they want to put on media,
Yeah.
what they put on media is what I see. Who mostly does crime is black people. I'm sorry, and I don't think most people like all black people are like that. No, not at all. Cause I used to work security, but I'm not racial profiling no black guy, and the guy in the suit and tie is probably trying to take something, you know, or he's the thief. So yeah, it's kind of hard to like pick out who's what, you know.
Okay, let's be realistic about it, right?
You know, so when the media is showing that like robberies, all that, you know.
Now people see white people as, yeah, that's the next school shooter. He gonna shoot me. That's a school shooter. That's how people base white people on now, because that's what they're known for.
White,
right?
you said white people.
Yeah, because that's who's been doing the school shootings lately, right? Now, black people's been doing the crime, so now all of a sudden, black people.
What kind of crime, though?
Regardless, I'm just saying, like, in general. Like, now black people do crimes, now they say all black people are criminals. Hispanics this. Muslims, now they think everywhere they go, they're gonna bomb something. So it's racially profiled because of it's the media.
That's how they depict it. That's how they depict it. Oh, nearest robbery at a corner store. A black person with a hoodie.
You feel me? And it's just like you see a cop.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing every day.
I don't agree.
No, that's what they show. I'm not saying that's no.
I thought you saying that, like, yeah, okay. You saying that how the media is portraying it.
Yeah,
no. That's how they depict it. So when they,
I don't agree because I thought
no.
Hispanics, blacks.
No, I'm not.
How about this?
I'm not saying black people like all black people do that.
But what I'm saying is, remember what I used to work for, and they were all fucking white with suits.
Yeah.
They were all white with suits that came in and did all the crimes that they did where I was working at.
You had a firefighter do that.
And yes, I did get a
man in uniform firefighter. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole MC, would take, you know, and steal without thinking about the consequences.
But what
so it's hard. It's only just black. Yes, it makes you. It's like you're already brainwashed to that. Exactly. I'm being honest. If we're gonna go deeper into this, it kind of just feels like an agenda. Yeah, it just feels like an agenda to separate something from something so it can all come in just on one thing. Yep. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know what the purpose of it is, but I don't know what's going on when it comes to the criminal justice system, but it's really faulty right now. It's really bad.
Absolutely.
What these cops need to do is just work on your situation. Work on your situational awareness and learn how to like you said, you learn how to de-escalate that situation because that is literally that's what would determine how this plays out.
Yeah.
It can go either really bad or it can go really smoothly.
Yeah. It just depends on how the situation is approached in the beginning.
Now that's the thing when it comes to being a cop. I feel like how they feel is like you're walking on eggshells everywhere. You're walking on eggshells everywhere because they probably really cops do. I don't know if people see this, but cops, if you see videos, cops go through things, bro. They go through some traumatizing moments where it's hard. It's also hard if we're looking at the cop's point of view as well. You feel me? It's hard when you're on duty every day, and you never know, and you really do meet crazy people.
But what I'm starting to get is, the police that are doing all this shit, they got fucking problems. They should never even been police.
No, those guys right there?
No, every fucking police that did the dumb shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should never been police.
Absolutely.
I don't give a fuck. They got an anger problem.
No, definitely.
Alright?
They have an agenda on something.
Y'all abuse your badge.
Yep.
And Lord knows how long they've been doing it.
That's the scary part. Is it the way they did it like that? I'm being honest. I think they probably end up like doing this maybe a couple times. When it comes to the most recent video, but if it's always been that sloppy, then this has got to be their first time. Sloppy.
Well, I don't think it was their first time. It's just what happened is
it just don't seem like we were thought out.
You're right about that. There's nobody in the U.S. that's above the law. You're absolutely right about that.
Not even the president.
But let me tell you something. Every person that they probably did it to did probably have a gun or did probably have weed or some type of drug on them. So they had no choice but to eat that shit.
Yeah.
Because they got something on them. Right? That's like, okay, for example, I'm not going to mention no names. I used to work the top clubs. I used to have certain state troopers go inside my club, take a couple of shots, alright? Go to Slagger because it smells like gum, and then they hit a gum, go back out there, get in their patrol car, okay? And this is what they do. When we escort somebody out the club, the bouncers, they get a little bit loud, they know you're under the influence, and that's their excuse to detain you in the most fucked up way. Because you're under the influence, so now you're under the influence, you don't remember what you did. Right? Quote unquote.
That's a good one.
So what the cops do, they abuse that shit. They abuse it to a point to throw you in the fucking car. Hold up, I got it. Thank you for calling entertainment. You on live.
Yes, I want to talk about 5 cops.
Those 5 cops. Gotcha.
You on live.
All right, check it out, right? You notice that...
Oh. Hold up.
Disconnected.
Go ahead, you got disconnected. You on.
check it out. You know, every time these cops keep doing the same thing, right? But
Right?
why? What I don't understand that we need to push is that man died because some cops killed that man. Am I correct?
You
Yeah,
correct.
you are.
Correct.
So why is it getting charged with second-degree murder instead of first-degree murder?
Fact.
That's a good
That's
question.
true. That's true. That's true.
That's a good question.
That's true. Is it because it was like so they all could get counted as
I'm
first
guessing-
degree, or is it because they were all a group? So it's not one
I don't know
specific
because they
person.
cops
Is
probably.
it because he didn't die on scene? He died in the hospital.
I think so. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you why. That cop, that kid didn't die in a hospital because he wanted to die. He died because some cops beat him up. They caused that trauma to his head and caused him to die 3 days later.
Damn.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because if you get charged with first degree murder, that's because you premeditated it, right? You knew
Yeah.
that you was gonna do it,
That's kind of
right?
what it seemed like. Yeah.
Right? And you did it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did.
They
Yeah.
should have gotten first degree.
Yeah.
Exactly
Definitely.
what they did. They knew what they were doing. They broke the law.
Yes.
At the end of the day, if you really look at it, that's what you would do. You're a police officer.
Yeah.
You know law. You know broke every rule you could think of.
Yep.
They no longer look at this young man as a human being. They looked at him as he was an animal. That's how they
Yeah.
treated him.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Like he didn't have any
So-
feelings.
so-
Yeah.
So those that got kids, you know what I mean? It's sad that we gotta sit our kids down and tell our kids, if you get stopped by the police, keep your hands in front of you and obey everything he tells you to do, you do. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yup.
Yeah. It's sad.
Absolutely understandable. It's really fear. It's a whole nother side of fear that it's hard to explain, man. And it should not
What
be
I wish
happening.
this world, what I wish is the media starts to push, that they should push, and set an example out of these five cops once and for all, push for first degree murder from the door.
Right.
You
That's
caught
right.
that body off.
That's
You
justice.
that kid.
Yes.
Justice.
Yes.
I agree.
I absolutely
I
agree.
agree.
I
I agree.
absolutely agree.
I never
agree.
even thought of that. I never thought of that.
I
That they
absolutely
were
Hey,
agree.
another thing, check it out. For you guys, because you guys got more advantage than what I always, heck always putting things out there positive, right? Check it out. You know, if I just committed murder and I'm a cop, man, and I just killed somebody, how the hell am I coming out of this? Are they out on bail?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn.
Each and every one of them are out on bail, on bond.
Yeah,
Are
they
you
was
kidding me?
they was supposed to be already locked up, and they should never got bail on that.
They got bail?
They got
Yeah,
billed.
they out.
What?
They out right now. They
Yeah.
out right now to wait on trial and all that.
Oh
They
my
out,
God.
man. You know
They're
what, me
murderers.
personally? Yeah, exactly. Because they cops. So what happens? It gets after it gets swept under the rug. Most
Right.
of the time.
Right.
If I would have done it, or if you would have done it, what do you think would have happened? You would have got
Oh.
They know nothing.
Nope. No nothing.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
that's
just think, for God's sake, man, that they set an example out of these cops and us. We got to push the issue too.
That's
we
right.
got to push the issue. That you know what? Second degree murder? Nah, it ain't no second degree murder. You killed that young man. You
Right.
ain't asked for that. You punched him. You hit him.
That's
kicked him
right.
like a football. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I agree.
I absolutely agree.
I agree.
you know,
I agree.
I just wanted to talk, to touch up on a couple of things. You know, especially, you know what? Thank God for the light pole. That
Thank
light pole
God.
up there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows a
That was
lot.
beautiful.
I think if that, I'm being honest. I think if that pole wasn't there, these cops would have been off good. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, 'cause they
I think
covered
these
a
cops
lot.
have
They
been on-
covered a lot of.
Yeah,
They
they
covered a lot
did.
of the footage.
Yep, they did.
Yeah, because if you notice, when the cop that got made, he took his bulletproof vest off, put it on the car.
Right.
When he did that, you don't longer see anything no more.
Right.
Nothing.
You see that?
Yeah, and when the other cop, when he was getting stomped out, the other cop turned around the other way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. You know,
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
that pole got everything. That pole got, me personally, and I told Hector the other day when I got called too late.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be 2 more cops. Didn't I tell you? Now there's 2 sheriffs that got suspended without
No.
pay.
Yeah, and they also I think the fire
Medics.
the medics they also looking at pending charges.
Yep.
All of them.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah,
They
bro.
didn't rent the age to that man. They didn't get that man age. They're looking at him.
That's right.
Looking at him and filling him up. Looking
Yeah.
at him and filling him up. Are you kidding me?
And then they left. They left him there.
But
They
like I
left-
said, the Scorpion unit is a gang amongst the police department.
Yep.
Trust me.
Yes.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, we were saying that. We were saying
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They had gang intentions. Yeah, they did.
Absolutely.
That is it.
They,
Yeah.
they all go together and they all got their own personal cars. You notice that?
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
Yeah, yeah. They all got unmarked cars.
They all got DT cars. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But you know
man.
what? The district attorney said there's gonna be more charges coming. I
Yep.
want to see the more charges come.
I wanna see
I want
that,
to see
yeah.
that second degree go to first degree. We're
Yeah.
saying, and then everything else come down with it.
Yep.
Yep.
Justice.
Yep. Justice. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Justice. Absolutely.
I'm down with
man.
that.
Thank you so much.
Definitely, man.
Thanks a
Yeah, I
lot.
just wanted to call, let you guys inform that to you guys. And y'all have a great night and keep up the good work.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, man. You have a good night.
You too, man. You have a great night, man.
You too. You got it.
All right.
Harold, you are right. He said, why was the white cop that lost his glasses not charged and not named? Because he's the one who tased him first.
Correct. Okay, he should be charged with something, but I'm gonna say this. All he did was stood there the whole time after he tased the guy. He didn't run after him.
I don't think he was there during
No,
the
he
meeting.
wasn't there during the beating. He was still there waiting for the other unit because he didn't have his glasses and he was waiting for another unit. He wasn't there, but you're right. That was the
did
one that
tase
tased him.
Yep.
But he stood there. That's why I think he did not get charged.
He may be pending investigation, probably getting fired.
Oh,
But I don't
yeah,
think they're
something
gonna
like that.
charge
But
him
I don't
for
think they were charged because he was not one of the ones that was there for the beating.
Yeah.
I actually think he was the one that stood there and turned around.
No, it wasn't him.
No, it wasn't him
No,
with the
no,
cam?
no. It wasn't him. The one that turned around, no. It was a less chubbier guy.
No.
And he was taller, and I think he was actually one of the black cops that were there.
Okay.
Yeah, him. He was one of
Alright.
the black cops. I didn't see the one with the glasses when they were beating him, to be honest. But he did
Alright.
tase him first for no reason. But yeah, I think he should be investigated and probably fired. But I don't think they'll charge him for the tasing part.
Probably, yeah, probably not.
The
If
rest-
anything, just give him like
Fired.
either fired or
say
like
get
worst
fired.
case scenario, I'm gonna say like at
I
least
think get
probation or
fired.
something.
Yeah.
Fired. Push for firing him.
Alright,
After
They can do that, but you know.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
We try our best, man. Y'all already know. From now on, we're gonna start having the phone number on there when we go live.
Definitely.
Please
Hear
do
your
not
opinions.
call. Do not call when we ain't live because we ain't gonna answer. This number is only when we live podcasting. All right?
Yeah.
Live podcasting. Yo, big up to the callers. I give y'all much love. Please share this
That's
for
right.
everybody else to know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you everyone for
And I
commenting
love-
and watching us. We
Show
really
love.
greatly
That's
appreciate
right.
it. Thank
That's
you for
right.
interacting. It was amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. We
Thank you
definitely
so
appreciate
much.
you guys. You already know the podcast. You got the whole production
Yeah,
crew
you
on
already
the
know, you
table.
already
You
know,
feel me?
man.
We always showing love. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
Definitely
Yeah,
out to
y'all already
everybody. Stay safe out there, man. You know, like I said, our prayers go out to everybody, especially that man's family.
Yeah.
Please, time can heal a lot of things, man. But when it comes to people who break the law, or any just criminals out there, or any people who are really bad for real, the truth always comes to light, man. The
Yeah.
truth always comes to
Yeah,
light.
they always fuck up.
Yeah, the truth always comes to light.
They always mess up. And listen, I want to
always
give a
mess
big
up,
shout
yeah.
out to everybody that be logging on to Facebook and
Much
be on
love.
our podcast.
Much
Big
love.
shout out to my Uncle Ed. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? Big shout out to Dave. Big shout out to Harold. Big shout out to my boy Dutch up in the house.
The whole project.
Steel. The whole HOB crew.
The whole HOB project, the bridge.
Everybody out here, man. Everybody East Coast, West Coast.
Love 305.
Everybody.
Love
We love
305.
everybody. We love
The world.
everybody. The
The
world,
world.
baby. Y'all already know what time it is.
All right.
Bye.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy.